So now the next part that we are going to talk about is concatenating the strings, and this is also a very useful part when we want to link different strings together. And so to do that, let me create another file, concatenate strings, that's pi. And so let's define two strings. String 1 equals, can for example write the first name of a person, for example Elizabeth, and for the second string we can write string number 2. String 2 equals, for example, second. And by the way, this is not the last name, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. And so we want to concatenate these two strings together. And to do that, we use the concatenate string, but the concatenate property in Python is shown with plus, so we don't use any concatenate in the real world. So maybe you use it in C programming or other programming languages, but in Python you use plus, and it's very much simpler. So here let's declare the result. Result equals string 1 plus string 2, and as you can see we've used a simple plus. And imagine that you want to add another string. You can simply write the string and define it right here. You don't need to necessarily first declare the string and then bring it into here. So let's forget this part and first print the result. Print result, and Python 3 concatenate strings, that's pi. And as you can see here, it's written Elizabeth II. If you want to have a space between these two, you can use space between the quotation marks and use another plus between the space and the second part of the string. So let's save this one and run the code, and as you can see it's been fixed. And if you want to add any other string and you haven't declared it yet, you can simply write something that you want. For example, was the Queen of England, and so let's run it, and as you can see it's just the way we want it to be. Let me also write the dot in the end, and there we go. So up to here we've learned how to concatenate two strings together, but imagine we have numbers. So you want to concatenate a number to a string, and the number has the format of integer or float. So one way is to convert the integer or float into string and then use the concatenate with this plus operators, or another way is to write it this way. So let me write it here, for example, string 3, for example, James, and here we have age equals 7, and here for the result, the final result equals, so we want to say, and let me edit this, James is, and we want to concatenate this string and this integer number, which is age. So if you write it this way, for example, string 3 plus age, and if you run this code, we'll face an error. It says that for concatenating the string, we shouldn't use integer. So age here is integer. So one way is to convert this into string. str age, and if you save it, there's going to be no error. You can simply print this. So let me write print instead of defining another extra variable. So as you can see here, James is 7, and you can use also the space right here. Okay, James is 7, but there's another way to make another simpler way of using integer for concatenating with the string. So you can write print string 3, and we had string 3, and let me write in another way. James is or we can let me define this in another way. String 4 equals James is, and we use brackets here for placing the integer that we had. So here, in order to place the integer inside a string, we use a bracket, and then we use format method in order to place the integer inside the string. So let me write a string, or first print string dot format string 4 dot format, and we use here age as the one that is going to be formatted into a string. So let me see if I've written the code the right way. Okay, here as you can see, James is 7, just the same as this one, but here we used the brackets here and made things much simpler. Instead of converting age into string, we used here as our integer that is going to place inside the string. So this one makes things simpler for the times that we have a lot of numbers, and instead of converting all of the numbers into string, we can use these brackets and place them one after the other. Okay, for example, we can write string 5 equals, and here, for example, we can write a story about James, or we can write different features about James. For example, James is, and here we write the age. And okay, let me write years old, and his weight is, so we use another number for weight, and we use Here let me write comma instead of and his height is, we use another bracket for his height. So let me also use two other variables. Weight, for example, his weight is 20 and his height is, I'm not sure for what is proper for that age, but probably somewhere around 120. Not sure if it's a proper one, but okay, this is just an example, so let's take it easy. And so we can print string 5 dot format. Okay, here let me just edit format, and inside the parentheses here you can write the different variables that we're going to use, but notice that they should be entered in the order of that we want to enter the strings. So first one is age, the second one is his weight, and the third one is his height. So let's save this and Python 3. So what happened there? Okay, here I forgot to close the parentheses, and let's save this. See if there's no, okay, there's no problem. James is 7 years old, his weight is 20 and his height is 120. Okay, that's it. So we've just used the format function in order to use these integers, and we have had no conversion. So without any conversion, we've entered the integers into a string, and it's been just as simple as that. So imagine that you've entered these features. There's a long list of features that you want to enter here, and the sequence of these features are mixed. For example, you used use the age at the end, and you want to enter it, this is the end, but you want to enter it in the first one. So here you can write 2, so 0, 1, 2. It's just like arrays, it starts from 0. So this is the second one, and the third one, but its index is 2. And for the weight, the index is 0. And for height, the index is 1. So let's see what the result is going to be. So James is 7 years old, his weight is 20, and his height is 120. So here the sequence is changed, but we write the sequence, the index of the right sequence, and everything will be in the right place. This is handy at the times that we have a long list of integer numbers that are written here and you don't want to change it, so you edit the numbers right here instead of here. This is especially important when you are editing somebody else's code, so you don't change the order here, and instead you write the index of the right order inside the brackets of the string.